Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the last video in my series, The Quiet Revolution, how Islam has transformed my daily habits and routines. And this video is basically sustaining this revolution, how we can be more consistent and focus more on our communities. So I guess one of the things that I've been focusing on a lot in these reminders and these little chats is is how we can be more moderate and basically how we can have a sense of small but consistent as opposed to big and sort of overburdened, overdoing. So how it can be more consistent. And I know that when we have this, when we have our goal of our lives, basically we need to be realistic and realize that we can't get there in a day. It actually takes a lot longer than that. And yeah, basically if we strive and make small efforts but more consistently, this is a realistic aim. Whereas if we try to sort of go from for example, not praying at all to praying every fard on time, doing our sunnah, doing our witr, doing our nafil, reading the Quran, fasting, doing tahajjud. I mean, just think about it, how unrealistic that would be. You can't do that. It's not a realistic goal. Think what you can do. Think, so for example, if anyone is not praying at all, just try to pray once. Try to pray once in a day. Pray in the morning or pray in the evening, and make that your goal for the day. I mean, I think that if you can do that, you're showing firstly, you're showing Allah that you're making an effort, and you're also teaching yourself that although you might not be perfect, at least you're making an effort, and that's all that matters. Whereas if you think you can go from not doing any effort at all to doing everything that our Prophet did, I mean, what are you essentially saying? Are you saying that it's easy? Because it's not. It's actually really, really hard. And it takes time to develop habits. You can't just go from essentially, a state of zero momentum, if you think physics here, to a state of 100% terminal. I mean, just be realistic with yourselves. So that's one thing about consistency. Now, community. Imagine if we did Islam all by ourselves. It would be very sad. I know Prophet Muhammad, if we follow his sunnah, he didn't do Islam by himself. One of the first things that he did was he talked to his family, he talked to those close to him, he talked to his wife about Islam, and basically this is how he had his outreach. I mean, if we are trying to do Islam all by ourselves and trying to think that we're so important that no one else can belong to our community, I mean, it's quite arrogant. And just try to soften your heart a bit and try to reach out. I know it's actually something that I'm focusing on myself a lot, is trying to broaden my outreach, to have more companions and more people to share my religion with. Because when we do this, we're sharing goodness. We're taught to spread salam, and spreading salam, we're not just saying assalamu alaikum and then that's it. We should be sharing more than that. We should be sharing a greeting of peace, a greeting of goodness, and actually taking an interest in how other people are doing. And when we can do that from a position of strength, that is probably one of the best things that we can do as brothers, as companions, and as Muslims. So yeah, that's a little bit about consistency and community. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was strategies. So strategies for maintaining daily habits amidst life's challenges and distractions in 2026. So I mean, 2026, it's here already, and we've got to face it. I mean, I personally don't follow what's going on the news. I kind of hear about it from others, and I just think, I mean, what a funny sort of paradigm that's going on now compared to sort of what we had about 5 years ago when life was ordinary. But we've got to deal with it somehow, and I guess part of that is making a lot of supplication and making our own struggle as well against wrongdoing and against oppression and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, anyway, that's not all I want to talk about, but that is part of the reality that we have to face in 2026. However, what are some strategies for maintaining daily habits amidst life's challenges and distractions this year? So I think a big thing for maintaining daily habits is basically the fact that we need to be very realistic. I mean, we need to know that as Muslims, we have a big duty to do. We have to pray 5 times a day. I mean, it's not an option. We have to do these things, and basically, when you realize how much of a struggle this really is, you realize how consistent we have to be in our efforts. So, I mean, I guess when we are praying, on time and all that kind of stuff, this really grounds us in certain virtues like patience, constancy. What else? Like forbearance, all of these kinds of things, and it kind of gives us a sense of reality. Like when we ever make a big ambition, when we ever say, "Look, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf and become the next big thing," think how realistic these goals are. I mean, I guess if we're ever going to take up a new habit or add something new, not innovate, but add a new sunnah or add a new practice within the sunnah to our religion, we need to really think about how likely it is that we're going to keep up with it. Because the worst thing to do is to set the bar too high and then fall and then give up. The best thing to do is to add slowly, steadily, consistently, and be realistic with your goals. So a goal can be to pray 5 times. A goal can be to start fasting. A goal can be to read the Quran more. But when you think about these goals, don't just go from not praying to praying every sunnah, every nafil, whatever. Just start small, and then same with fasting. Don't go straight to the fast of Prophet Dawood, day on, day off. Just fast once a week, and same with the Quran. Just read a page. I mean, having such a high standard all the time is probably one of the most detrimental things we can do to our religion, because that kind of makes us fall into a trap of extreme Islam, of perfectionism, and always feeling like we're not doing enough, like we're falling short somehow. Whereas it's the small deeds that in a hadith that we're taught, it's the small deeds that are most beloved to Allah. So give it a go. And I have another tip for those of you who are watching. A tip to maintain daily habits amidst life's challenges and distractions this year. And this tip is to take a break from the internet. And I mean it seriously, because while you're watching this video on the internet right now, there's a lot of crap out there on the internet. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't use TikTok, and I think I'm better off for it. But I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. But the more time I spend on these apps, I kind of get sucked into this I start to think like, yeah, I know for a fact that it's full of lies. A lot of the stuff that you read isn't true. It's full of a lot of AI generated content. So what you're watching may or may not have actually happened. And how is this going to benefit your mindset if a lot of what you're looking at and a lot of what you're reading is actually fabricated? I mean, um, the way around this is to spend more time in the real world. Maybe if you're spending 7 hours a day online on memes or TikTok or whatever, just try to do something a bit more grounding. Try to get to your masjid, try to play a sport, try to get to the library, try to spend a bit of time with some friends, and get more grounded in reality. Because one thing that I've learned as a millennial is that the internet to us is a tool. It's not where we live. Whereas I think a mistake or an issue with the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas out there is that they were brought up with the internet. So in a sense, when they've been growing up, they've been on their phones all their lives, or they've been on apps all their lives, and they don't know how to detach themselves from these things. And I think the culture that exists on these apps with influencers and all this kind of thing, I mean, what's their credibility? If they are good, then that's okay. But if they have questionable character, questionable activities, questionable morals, questionable outlooks, are we going to look up to these people, or are we going to look at them with a bit more skepticism and say, look, my life's a lot more well-rounded, and I'd rather spend some time doing some real stuff than sort of looking up to these people who all they want is to have your attention, and as soon as they get it, I mean, is that what you want? Do you want them to sort of suck you into their whatever it is that they're doing? I mean, it's just something to think about. And I mean that for myself as well. If you see me as a questionable character, or you don't want to watch my videos, that's fine. Go out and do something normal. I mean, I'm just here to help, just here to point you in the right direction, and to give you some good advice that the internet's not where you should live. It's more or less a platform to learn, and it's a platform to have some perspective into other people's lives and other people's doings, but it's not where you should live. It's a lot of it's not real, and that's how I can share from my perspective as being from my generation. Whereas I think the new generations, they don't know. I guess that this world called the internet is actually it's not real life. It's only going to let you down, essentially. So there's a few tips, or there's some guidance about how to maintain yourself and how to get through the challenges and distractions this year. Spend a bit less time online, a bit more time in situations and places and with people that are going to be good for you. Now, the next thing, the invaluable role of community and mentorship and reinforcing positive routines and offering support. So for me, I mean, I'm trying actively myself to be more involved, not in a busybody sense, but in a sense where I'm not just going about my life at the masjid, sort of being too distant from everyone. I'm trying actually to be a little bit more involved, and to actually do life alongside my brothers, as opposed to sort of doing life all by myself and then sort of suffering, I guess, a sense of loneliness in a way. And yeah, I guess my opinion on community is that our friends at the masjid, we should try to, if we can, have people that we talk to that we can trust, have people that we can talk to that have similar interests to us, and people that we can talk to that are reasonable, understanding, compassionate, and are going to help us out in our lives. If they're going to judge you and throw the book at you just because your pants are a little bit low or high or whatever, this is not the kind of thing that we need if we're struggling in our faith. We need people who are gonna understand us, and we need people who are going to support us in our journeys. And we don't need people to tell us that we don't belong or that we're doing something wrong. Because the thing is, if we're making an effort to pray, that's the best effort we can do. And we don't need people to tell us that we're wrongdoers when we're essentially doing a charitable thing, which is showing up to prayer. So I guess look for people that are going to be moderate and compassionate, and I guess just try to bear a bit on the shoulder or a bit on the chin when you receive criticism from others for essentially just doing your thing, right? So that's that, and yeah, as much as you can, just try to expand the community. Try to do more stuff, like get together, make some activities, make some events. Maybe it can be anything. I'm not going to tell you how to do your community, but don't wait for someone else to start something. Actually be the person who's going to start something yourself, because the reality is that no one's going to fight your struggles for you. And if there's ever anything that you need, you need to be the person to make it happen yourself. So that's what I have to say about that. And the last thing, looking ahead, the continuous evolution of my faith and habits, promising even greater personal growth. Now, basically, I wouldn't say I'm happy about my faith. I'm not unhappy about it. I think it's all right. But the Muslim or the believer should never be content with where they are in their religion. There should always be a higher station or a higher level or a higher level of Iman that we want to reach. So basically, I think that a lot of what I do is probably on point. My prayer is about right, and I'm doing, I'm trying to do as much as I can. However, looking ahead, what is there to look forward to? How can I continue to evolve my faith and my habits? And how can I continue to grow? I mean, basically, for me, I'm looking forward to this Ramadan coming up. I know that this is our time as Muslims. Basically, I know for a fact that the feeling that I get during Ramadan is so much different to the feeling that I get during any other time of the year, and it's something that I'm preparing for as well. I'm sort of taking on a few more habits, and basically I want to see if anything I can attain more senses of peace, more senses of spirituality, and greater spiritual heights as much as I can. So I know in my country it should be the month of Sha'ban, in one day it should be Sha'ban tomorrow. So I guess to evolve my faith, what can I do? I shouldn't make any blank statements because I'm sort of bound by my word here, but I guess what I want is to feel closer to God, and it doesn't really matter what you do. It's more or less where your heart is. So I guess just keeping up consistency is probably the biggest thing for me. Keeping on praying. I guess the big thing that I want is to keep learning, and this is a challenge for me. In my area, we don't have. I mean, it's hard to get people together to learn, and I guess one thing that I'd like to do would be to start some kind of a study where I can go into the Quran and talk about what things mean and why they mean what they mean, and what the greater truths are to some teachings. And I know that when we don't understand what things mean, perhaps if we've had a bad teacher in the past, or if we've been misguided in any way, this can be really detrimental to our faith. So for me, I want to maybe learn more, maybe this month or in Ramadan itself. And I want to keep on the same journey, I guess. I don't know what goodness I can attain, because this is sort of speaking of the future. But I guess if I can learn learn as much as I can, that's probably the biggest thing that I want for myself, is to keep learning and maybe achieve more goodness for my masjid as well. Because when our masjid is in a good place, and when everyone in the masjid is sort of harmonious, then I mean it's the center of our community, right? So that's probably the best thing. And that's all I have to say for now. If anyone has anything to share on this series or on this video, or they want to ask any questions about sort of my journey to Islam, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. So this has been my video, Sustaining the Revolution, Consistency and Community, Strategies Maintaining Daily Habits Amidst Life Challenges and Distractions in 2026, the invaluable role of community and mentorship in reinforcing positive routines and offering support, and looking ahead, the continuous evolution of my religion and my habits, promising even greater personal growth. So thank you very much, and I'll see if I can come up with any ideas for videos to publish in the future. So thank you very much, and have a good day.